So similar to preferences, you're going to find your hotkeys over here in the lower left-hand corner under the U. You click on this and you go to hotkeys. You'll get this menu. The hotkeys that I have set up, I have one set up for animation visibility mode and play blast visibility mode. For me, whenever I'm working inside my Maya session, I know it's always very personal for every different artist. But for me, what I like to do is have my camera view over here. This is going to be on the left-hand side is my view that will be shot out for my play blast. This is this is the image that I'm crafting over here on this side. So under show, if I tear this off, I usually don't want to have my animation controls on. I like to see what the image is going to be like without anything in the way. So I will usually only have polygons checked on, image plane if I have some reference that I need to shoot out with my play blast, or if I've got a BG plate in there. And in this case, I've got GPU cache on because this part of the environment, the tree here, is a GPU cache. And I always turn off my grid. I might leave my heads-up display on if it has like some valuable information in here, like right now it's showing the camera. That's not really useful, but depending on the show that you're working on, you might need to have some of the heads-up display turned on. And over here under display is where you can choose, I'll tear this off actually, display, heads up display, I'll tear off this menu. This is where you can set what is shown inside your window for the heads up display. So I'm actually going to turn off the camera name, and typically I only like to have the frame shown. So I turn that on, no, not the frame rate. I want the frame count, current frame, boink, right there. And I'll usually turn all the rest of this stuff off. But, you know, check with your lead or supervisor about what they want to have displayed in the heads-up display, if anything at all. Perhaps they don't want anything at all, in which case you could check off heads-up display inside here. So now that I have these settings created for the viewport that is my camera view, I'm going to save this as my play blast visibility mode. And the way you do that over here under the three dots where you have all your extra tools, I am going to go to where is that, viewport extra tools. I'll come up here and I'm going to snapshot my play blast visibility mode. So it's taken a snapshot of the show settings that I have for this viewport, and it saved it as my play blast visibility mode. So when I come back here to hotkeys, now whenever I load up my shot, if I want to make sure I only have my play blast visibility mode settings selected, all I have to do is hit a hotkey that I've saved here, which is Shift T. So definitely set your shot up how you like it for working. The same thing is true for your animation visibility mode. Over here I have my typical animation visibility mode, and for me when I load up my shot, to get to it easily, it's just Shift Y, and it's going to set my animation visibility mode because I took a snapshot of it over here in this menu. And so for me, when I'm just animating, I like to turn off everything except for the NURBS curves and polygons. I don't need to see the image plane over here because I'm not looking at my reference. I'm going to tumble around and set my poses and make sure they all look great from every single angle inside this window. And everything else can be checked off except for this GPU cache. We need that tree. So go ahead and close that, and that's what I have currently saved as my animation visibility mode. So I would recommend setting up some hotkeys for that. Some people set up hotkeys for nudging left and right if you're doing that frequently, or for, you know, copying and pasting keys. I'll show you guys that stuff in a little bit. Another hotkey I definitely recommend setting is one for set smart key. I would just go ahead and overwrite your Maya native save key with this set smart key. And the difference between that is when you're using set smart key rather than the Maya save key, if you've got a curve in your graph editor and you're adding an in-between in on a channel and you hit S, it might change the tangency of that curve and mess it up a little bit. However, if you set a smart key, it's going to maintain the tangency of and the shape of that curve. So this is a better choice for your S button. And that's pretty much right now the only Animbot hotkeys that I have set up. I definitely would recommend those. But you can create hotkeys for all kinds of controls in here. So as you get more familiar with Animbot tools and you find yourself using something repeatedly, this is where you would set up a hotkey.